Hi and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassie. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the Ascension process. I have a variety of different services that I offer to assist you in your awakening journey, and if you're interested you can check those out in the description box below. So today we're going to be doing a video for Gemini. This is going to be for Gemini Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs. All of my beautiful, beautiful Geminis. This is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone. Don't stretch it to fit. Take what fits and leave the rest. I also encourage you to check out your other placements. If you don't know what those are, you can go to a website such as Cafe Astrology or astro.com, put in your birth information, and a chart will be generated for you. So let's see what's going on for Gemini, August 2020. Okay, first card out. Financial and material changes. So you guys are going through some fluctuations here in your finances. Some things are moving for you in a very fortuitous direction, it seems. So we have that coming out right next to fulfillment of wishes, which I believe would be the Nine of Cups in the traditional deck. So this is really beautiful energy. This is, I feel like we also have the moving on card coming out here. So I feel like for some of you, this is involving moving on from a job, possibly. Moving on from one job into something better. Like I feel like for a lot of you, you may have been considering a career change or making a move in that direction, and you weren't really sure how that was going to pan out, but you went and you took that chance, and that chance is paying off for you. For others of you, this is simply that you've put a lot of work and effort into building yourself up, and that is absolutely materializing for you. We have foundation and achievements coming out as well, which is the Four of Wands in the traditional deck. So a lot of really positive energy for you guys. I'm feeling as though for those of you that didn't leave a job, then possibly for some of you, you've left a relationship. And whatever it is that you're leaving behind is making room for something even better to come into your reality. So if there is a choice that you've been kind of going back and forth about, one of the twins has one idea, the other one has another idea, this is confirmation that it is safe for you to make that move, to make that decision. And you are not going to regret it because there is so much beauty in store for you guys. And we have on the bottom of the deck, we have Truth, which is the Judgment card in the traditional tarot. And so I feel for some of you guys, this is about speaking your truth. This is about speaking your truth or living your truth, or really both, I think. So perhaps the reason that you've been thinking about leaving this job or leaving this relationship is because you weren't able to be who you truly were playing that role. And so now you're starting to realize that you want to be able to live more authentically, and you want to be able to express yourself the way that you're wanting and needing to express yourself. And whatever it is that you are involved in is kind of holding you back from that. And as we all know, as we step deeper into our truth, we step deeper into our power, and we unlock the floodgates of abundance that are just waiting to be opened, right? And so this is what's happening for you guys as you step more deeply into your truth, into living your truth, into that understanding that when we live our truth, that means that we are absolutely authentic in everything we say and everything we do all of the time. And that sounds like almost too good to be true sometimes, right? Like, really? Nobody gets to be themselves and be authentic all the time. We all have these expectations that society places upon us. But like, no, you absolutely are able to do that. That is the new template. That is the new earth, the new reality that we're moving into. And every single person who steps into their power and steps into their truth and lives from that truth is helping to cement that new reality in. Like, it is so beautiful and so powerful when we do that. You know, I'm wearing this shirt today and it says, like, we are the resistance, right? And so this is how we resist, by being who we really are in every single aspect of life. And so I think a lot of you guys are learning that right now. And that's really opening you up to so much potential and so much possibility. It's so beautiful. Let's find out a little more. Tell me a little more about this truth. Okay. All right. So the first card out was the Four of Cups, to clarify, the truth card. All right. So I'm feeling this energy of, being discontent, having all of these things, right? Like whether this is the relationship, the job, whatever, where things kind of like look probably on the outside to people like they're lining up and really moving forward for you, but you're not satisfied with that because it's not something that truly authentic that's feeding your soul. And then we have Temperance, which is about balance, right? And so I feel for some of you guys, this is just the balance of balancing out those different aspects of yourself. Balancing out, you guys are the sign of the twins, right? So balancing out those two aspects of your personality and those aspects of yourself and finding like where they meet in the middle. Like, what do both of these sides of me want? What is the truth, right, that resonates within both of these sides of me? Ooh, interesting. All right, and then we have the Five of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. So I feel as though for some of you, this is the balance of having to walk away. Like you see this figure and he's walking away and he feels very dejected. Like you're trying to find a way to balance your life. You're trying to find a way to, I feel like for some of you guys as well, it's been sort of like your job was what you did, right? It's what you did, and then you enjoyed your life the rest of the time. And for a while, like, that was balanced and that was okay. But you started realizing, whether it's because your job was demanding even more of you and you realized that you were having less and less time for yourselves, or it was demanding more of you, not even necessarily in a time manner, but like spiritually as you started growing. Like somehow things started getting thrown more off balance. And that was really difficult for you. And it was this period of just kind of feeling that energy of like, I don't know what to do now, like the fear of financial lack. I feel for a lot of you guys more than actual financial lack. Although for some of you guys, there may have been actual financial lack as well. But for most of you, I feel like you're fearing that. You're fearing that if you speak your truth or if you make this move and do the thing that you need to do, you're going to be lacking financially. Because you put a lot of work and you put a lot of effort in, and for some of you guys, you just don't want to start all over again. But we have the King of Pentacles here, which is that energy of being extremely well manifested in your reality, right? And so you guys are well manifested. You guys will continue to be well manifested. You understand how to do that. And so that doesn't have to be a fear. Like as long as you follow your path and you follow your calling, even if initially it feels like there's a lack, there's not going to be a lack for very long. So you're not going to lose. It's sort of like, I feel as though this fear of losing the stability and this like being in this place that feels really comfortable right now and sort of looking at all the work that went into that and just being like, oh, like, I don't know. But then we have the Tower on the bottom of the deck. Ooh, we have the Tower and we also have the Devil. And so that's interesting. So I feel as though these material changes, these changes that allow you to live, like for some of you guys, you set an intention that you wanted to manifest something more in your life. You set an intention that you wanted to live more in your authentic truth, that you wanted a career that reflected that, a relationship that reflected that. And Spirit heard you. Spirit heard you, and that was a very true, like a very genuine intention that you set out there. And you might not have even done it in the traditional sense of like purposely setting an intention, but your desires and your thoughts and the energy and the vibration behind that started moving things in that direction, whether you know it or not. And so if you don't make the moves that you're thinking about making, Spirit's going to come right in and intervene and move you in the direction that you need to go regardless. And so it's a lot of these shadow energies that are coming up. These shadow energies, this fear energy, right? And that's what's holding you back. And so some of these fears may be the catalyst for some of you. Some of these fears, or possibly some of these behaviors, those of you who are sort of in this place where you're not necessarily satisfied, you know that you want something more, you're not able to articulate that or take the steps that you need to take to get that something more. And so these old habits come creeping back in, these old coping mechanisms. You seek out those old ways to fulfill you that used to work in the past. And part of this tower energy is like, those aren't working anymore. Those aren't working anymore, but you may have, energy is moving a lot faster now. Karma is coming around a lot quicker. If some of these shadow behaviors, these are like addictions, compulsions, things like that, right? If some of those behaviors that you act on those and those are harmful to yourself or other people, the energy of that is going to boom around a lot faster. And that's going to possibly land some of you guys in some hot water. So watch out for that devious twin and how that devious twin wants to play right now, because that could have consequences that you don't like. However, those consequences, whatever way this cookie crumbles, are absolutely going to be setting you up for future success anyway, because they may be removing some of these things from your lives that you've been afraid to remove yourself. It's just like, do we want to do this the easy way or the hard way? Like the hard way seems to be to actually make the choice, right? But that's not the hard way. The hard way is this way of acting out in these old behaviors, or just sitting back and allowing things to get more and more uncomfortable before taking that leap. And as we said, Spirit is going to come through with that divine intervention. This tower is also, it has a resonance with the planet Mars traditionally, but also the planet Uranus. It's that energy, right? And so we have Mars and Uranus about to go retrograde. And so I think that period is going to be very revealing for you guys as far as your goals and your ambitions and your authenticity and how you stand in that, and how your goals and ambitions and the action that you take around that represents and really solidifies who you truly are, right? That being authentic. So these energy, like there may be some events that take place during this Uranus and this Mars retrograde that really shake you up out of your comfort zone if you're not willing to make those moves yet yourselves. But like we said, we had financial and material changes with fulfillment of wishes here. So it's not going to be a bad thing for you guys. It's really, really not. And even if there is temporary loss, there's going to be overall gain. Like then we have the Three of Cups, which is celebration, right? That celebratory energy. And then we also have the Ace of Wands, which is like a new cycle of passion and creativity. So there is so much that is good coming up for you guys right now. It's just like, how do we want to get there? That is sort of the thing that we have to decide right now. And then once again, we have Judgment on the bottom of the deck. So we had the Truth card, which is equivalent to the Judgment card, and then the Judgment card coming out again. So this is an awakening, a realization. It's also a call to action. So you guys are being called to action right now. And if you're not willing to act, Spirit is going to act for you. And so that's like, it sounds a little intimidating, but it's just the way that Spirit has our back. It's like, how do we want to learn? How do we want to grow? Do we want to take charge, right? And so this is some of that Mars energy, what we're learning, right? Like, do I want to take charge of my own growth process, or do I want to leave that to Spirit, right? Do I want Spirit to have to come in and divinely interfere, or do I want to take responsibility and ownership of this and sort of help to guide that process a little bit more smoothly? And we all get to make that decision for ourselves. Then we also have the Ten of Cups here. The 10 of Cups, which is happiness, fulfillment, right? Emotional fulfillment, emotional bliss. And we also have the 8 of Pentacles under here. So this is like hard work. This is rewards, recognition, really fine-tuning and honing a craft. So like that's what you guys have to look forward to, fine-tuning and honing a craft that means something to you, that you care about, that you're willing to put the work into. And for some of you guys, this also includes a reunion with somebody from your past, because we have the 6 of Cups coming up here, which is nostalgia, past reconciliation, can be past life energy, past life soulmates, all of that different stuff. So for some of you guys, that's coming in too. Like there's just all this abundance coming in. Yeah. All of this goodness and all of this abundance. But you got to be willing to, like when the universe knocks, you have to be willing to answer the door. And if you're not willing to answer the door, the universe is going to knock a little bit harder. And then it's going to knock a little bit harder. And then eventually it's going to blow that door right off the hinges. And then we have the 2 of Swords right here, right? That indecision, needing to make a choice, not knowing which path to choose. So it's like, do I make the choice or do I allow that choice to be made for me? Right, and then under, as I said that, I see the Magician on the bottom of the deck, which is the master manifester, who knows exactly what he wants and how to create his own reality. Like, you guys know that. You know how to do that. You're fully capable. It's just you need that final nudge, right? So let this video be that final nudge instead of the Tower being that final nudge, all right? And then, of course, on the bottom of the deck here, we have the Universe card, which is the World card, which is completion of a cycle, all the bounty, all of the glory, all of the goodness, right, of that cycle. And then under that, we have material harvest. So there you have it. It's all ripe for the picking. There is so much, like, just because you spent, and then partnerships and alliances as well, just because you spent a lot of time doing something and putting effort and work into something, if you decide that you want to change what it is that you want to do, that you don't want to stick with the same company anymore, that you maybe don't want to even be in the same field anymore, and this can be applied to relationships too, but I'm feeling this is a career for a lot of you guys, doesn't mean that all that time was wasted. You still have all those skills that you acquired from doing that. And that is absolutely beautiful. And that's, time is never wasted because we're always learning and we're always growing. And maybe you've learned and you've grown as much as you are going to be able to where you are now. And so now it's time for you to learn and grow a little bit more. And so we're going to pull a couple of the Work Your Light Oracle cards for you guys. All right, let's see. Some more guidance for Gemini, August 2020. And this says August. We're about midway through August now, maybe a little more. So the time is fluid. I have to title it sometimes. This is the energy that I'm tapping into right now. So this could have already happened. This could be happening now. This could be happening in the future. I just want you guys to be aware of that when I say August. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, maybe watch it later on down the line, and it will. And also, like I said, check out your other placements as well. All right, we got quite a few cards here. So we got birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. And so this is what you guys are doing right now. You guys are getting ready to birth some new creations to really... So when we say dreaming a world into being, that's that manifesting, right? That's that power that we have. This is this process of templating this new reality for people, right? This new reality where people can dream as big as they want and they can be absolutely anything they want. And they can follow their passions where those passions are leading them and absolutely know that those passions and those drives and those desires, those dreams were put there for a reason. To inspire us, to nudge us, to push us in the direction that we want to be going. Yeah, and we are assisting everyone else in being able to understand and to grasp and to touch that possibility by being the first ones to do that, by showing people how to do that. So that's huge stuff. And then we have the crumbling, which always reminds me of the Tower card. So this is wicked funny. And this says, what are you clinging to? Like, look at that beautiful garden in between here, right? Like, this is what's waiting for you. So why are you standing out here, right? Why are you standing on the outside when you could be in here? And this is allowing whatever is ready to crumble, whatever is ready to fall, to fall. Whatever structures you've put in place in your life that are no longer working for you, you can release those and let those go and know that there is something so beautiful, right? That other card was material harvest. Like, you can see the harvest in here. So what are you waiting for? Then we have protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So I feel a couple meanings for this card. I feel also that this is just a reminder for you guys that you are protected and you are being watched over, and it's absolutely okay for you to take those steps and do those things that you need to do. But this is also a reminder for you guys as far as if there are, as you're leaving behind, this is reminding me of the shadow energies card as well. So as you're leaving behind all those old behaviors, all those old coping mechanisms, all those old belief systems and ways of behaving in the world that are a result of these wounds that you've been working through and you're being asked to continue to work through, as you know, these hard truths that maybe you're being presented with right now. There may be just with all of this energy, if you're feeling disempowered, just understand how incredibly powerful you really are. Really sink into that, know that, and operate from the place of that. And you can do, I've done multiple rituals sometimes. Sometimes on full moons, we will have a full moon coming up very shortly here at different times. Whenever I felt like it, really. Like, it's fun to go by the moon cycles, but we don't have to. Like, we're so powerful. We can do this kind of stuff anytime we want, right? And so I've done little rituals of my own design to call back my power before. And to step into that and to own that, to call back those other aspects. And this is something that's been going on naturally for a while, is we have been calling back those aspects of our souls, retrieving those aspects of ourselves that we sort of, I don't want to say lost, because it's like they're never really lost, but they're just not, they're dormant inside of us because we're afraid to activate them for whatever reason in this lifetime. So really, like, calling that back and stepping into that. And for some of you guys, there are situations and people in your life that have outlived their purpose that you need to release as well. So cutting the cords to those people. And I'm feeling for some of you that some of those people may be from past lifetimes as well. Or they could be people that you've known in many lifetimes. And those cords have existed for all that time. Like, whenever we interact with somebody, we form an energetic cord to them. And a lot of times these cords are supportive. The energy flows both ways. It's very synergistic. There's reciprocity. It's like the energy, it's a positive flow and interchange of energy. And sometimes the energy only flows one way, and it's kind of just like draining, right? And sometimes it flows both ways, but it's not, the energy is not of a good vibration, and it's draining and stressful to both people. And so sometimes those cords need to be cut. And honestly, there's a lot of people that offer a lot of fancy services to do this. You can do this yourself. You can do this just by setting the intention. You can call in Archangel Michael and ask him to assist you. He is great at doing that with that big, beautiful sword of his. If you want something a little more traditional, I can do that in an energy healing session. That is absolutely, I do those. They're incredibly powerful. Even just if you're needing help moving beyond these blocks, if these shadow aspects are coming up. I do personal readings, and the energy healings that I do, I always recommend above all else. You know, we are energy. Everything operates on energy, right? So the best way to address any problem, in my opinion, is at the source, which is energetic. So it really just cuts through all the BS and gets right to the heart of the matter. And we can have some huge shifts as a result of receiving energy healing. So I definitely would recommend that you reach out for that if you're feeling called to do so. But like I said, you can cut these cords yourselves just by setting that intention. So if any of you are relating to that, if there's somebody that you just can't seem to get off your mind, you're in that kind of obsessive state around them, it's possible that there are energetic cords there. And if that's becoming distracting or disabling for you, or you can just sense that it's draining your energy, feel free and be ready to cut those cords. That may be just what you and the other person needs in a situation. but it's really more than anything, it's about calling back your own power. Calling back your own power. And when we cut cords with people, we allow them to find their own power too, right? Because they can't feed off of our energy anymore. They want more energy. So perhaps they're motivated to seek out ways to cultivate that for themselves, right? Spirit offers us all the energy that we need. Our own soul contains all the energy that we need. But when we're cut off from those energetic supplies, we find other places to get that energy. So that's where that shadow energy, that devil card comes in, right? These other ways, whether it's addictions to people, to substances, to shopping, to food, whatever, we try to get this energetic supply in all these other ways. And so it's really calling that back to yourselves, not allowing other people to do that to you, and realizing that you don't need to do that either. You can absolutely step into your full power, call upon your soul's full power, call back those pieces of yourself. Cut those cords, cut those distractions, cut that resistance, and really step more fully into who you are. And when you do that, when you step into that, and that's that truth card, right? When you step into that truth, everything else will unfold. If you've been feeling uncomfortable in your life in general and you don't know why, and maybe this reading hasn't resonated with you, but you're still watching for some reason, then maybe look at that stuff. Are there places where you're not living your truth? Are you feeling just generally irritable and discontent and you really don't know why? Like something's missing. It's because your soul is speaking to you and asking you to step into this next version of who you are. And we also have the Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Throughout this process, just really taking care of yourself. Part of how you can mother yourself is by cutting those cords, right? Is by protecting your energetic field. I have a video on here that you guys should check out about cleansing and clearing your energetic field. So that may be something that you guys want to look into. But just like, what are the different ways that you can take care of yourself? What are the different ways that you can provide that energy for yourself? Right? Gemini, you guys are a very social sign, right? You have a lot of friends. You're very charismatic. You tend to be the social butterfly, right? You're around a lot of energy a lot of the time, depending on what else you have in your chart. But this is, that's stereotypical. Obviously, we're all much more complex than just our one sign in our chart, right? But you do tend to have that energy where a lot of you are extroverted, right? And you feed off of other people's energy. And so some of you may be accidentally like taking in other people's energy without really realizing that you're doing it. And at this point, it may be more harmful to you than helpful to you. So also just really looking at like who you spend your time with, right? Who are you engaging with? What other energies are you consistently around that you're taking in? And are those beneficial or are those not? And if they're not, then cutting those cords. With some people, it might not be that dramatic. It might just be like spending more time by yourselves, trying out this more introverted thing, seeing how that goes, seeing how it goes to spend more time with you. And when you spend more time with you, you start to realize those pieces that are missing. You start to realize how you're really feeling, right? Like what is really resonating and what's not, because you're not so distracted by all the outside stimuli. Yeah. And then get grounded, which kind of plays right into what we're saying, right? Empaths, highly sensitives connect with nature. So a lot of you may not even realize that you're empaths, or this may be a quality that you're just now kind of embracing and stepping into as you're awakening. And so I feel like the whole reason I went off on that speech about being social creatures is that there may be some of you who are used to spending a lot of time with people and getting really recharged by that. And now you're realizing that that is draining you instead. And so you are becoming more sensitive. You are, if you weren't already or didn't already identify as an empath, some of you may. And if you guys don't know what that is, then I would look that up and do a little more research on that. An empath is essentially somebody who's very sensitive to the energies around them. So they're very sensitive, especially to the energies of places, of situations, and absolutely of people, right? They're very intuitive. And so empaths can take on the energies of other people without even meaning to sometimes. And like I said, check out that energy clearing video that I posted. And absolutely reach out to me if you want a healing. I feel like that's going to be really helpful for a lot of you guys right now. But yeah, so take that time for yourself. Take more time out in nature as well to connect with nature and find the peace and the serenity there. Yeah, for some of you guys who really like to still feel connected, even if you're feeling like you have to distance, maybe start like a video log of you going out and doing these different things with yourself, right? Because then it's like you're by yourself, but you're also interacting and you also have that sort of relationship. So if you have trouble with that, spending too much time alone, then try doing stuff like that to mix it up a little bit. You know, journal about it. Do different things to like be engaged, but like be engaged in a way that really brings you back to yourself more. Be more engaged with yourself. And then under that, we have deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. So yeah, that retreat and that rest is really important for a lot of you guys. And I feel as though, yeah, with all of the big changes that are coming for you as well, it's going to be really important to stay grounded and charged. As these new opportunities present themselves, as many of you do switch careers or end relationships or do whatever it is that you're doing, some of you may start realizing that the person you're with is draining you. When maybe they used to not, but all of a sudden their energy feels different to you and it's not helpful. And the same with your job. You may, as you're now awakening and becoming more empathetic, you may realize like, oh, this just isn't for me anymore. It's not doing the same things. I feel like for a lot of you guys, just in all different areas, you're going to be coming to that realization lately. And there are going to be big changes that happen. So you want to make sure that you're mothering yourself, that you're getting plenty of rest, that you're rejuvenating, that you're actually taking that time to spend alone to be able to sort through whose feelings and emotions are whose, like what actually belongs to me, and releasing all that does not belong to you once you start understanding what those things are. And then if you know that you need to leave, that you need to switch it up and you don't know what to do, what lights you up? That's what you go with. What brings you joy? What makes you feel passionate? What makes you feel inspired? That's the direction you go. That's where you put your energy. That's where you put your focus. That's what you learn more about. You guys are so intellectually active and so intelligent, and you love to learn, right? So start studying or learning something that interests you and really lights you up. And just be open to those. Ask for that to be presented to you and see what presents itself. See what manifests as a result of that would be my advice for you. Yes. And then we have double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity, Pleiades. So some of you guys are stepping into the realization that you have a much deeper mission here than you realized before. And maybe that's a little bit overwhelming for you. But it's an absolutely beautiful thing. And who better to fulfill that and to uplift humanity than beautiful Gemini energy, who is so charming and so alluring and so able to relate to people and connect with different people, right? But like when you connect with those people, boundaries. Make sure that you're creating those energetic boundaries. Make sure if boundaries haven't really been a thing that you've thought much about before, that you're looking into that and really establishing those firm boundaries with the people in your lives, as well as with yourselves, right? So that those devil energies don't creep back in again. Okay, so I think that we're going to call that for the reading today, unless... What else am I wanting to do for you guys right now? Am I wanting to do something else? Another card about creating heaven on earth. So for a lot of you guys, you guys are really coming into the understanding that you have a mission right now, that you came here to show people that there is a new possibility for the earth, that they can absolutely live, that life can be different than the way we've always seen it and always known it, right? That it can be better, that it can feel more authentic, more blissful, more joyful, that life can light us up absolutely all the time. So that's definitely some extra confirmation for anyone who is wondering if you've been looking up terms like empath and starseed and different stuff like that and trying to figure out if any of those labels fit. I'm not big into the labels, but we do use them because we're human and we understand things in context such as that. If you've been looking up that stuff and wondering and resonating with it, or like wanting to learn more about it, definitely do, because you are within that group. Like, we had enough cards confirming that to say that that's absolutely true. And we're not going to read all of these because this is just a lot to read from the book, but we have Lion Spirit that came out for you guys. Be generous of spirit. This is that Leo season, that Leo energy coming through, right? We have Bat Spirit. A rebirth is assured. This beautiful transformation that you guys are going through right now. Canary Spirit, sing your own song. Right? Enough said there. Cat Spirit, claim your independence. Oh, these are perfect. And Nightingale Spirit, love is all around. With Fox Spirit on the bottom of the deck, think on your feet. Oh, these cards are just so beautiful. I love them so much. If anyone's into spirit animals and stuff like that and wondering about a deck to get, I highly recommend this one. This is the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Amazing cards. Yeah. You guys are, like, this is a total rebirth that you guys are experiencing right now. And it's all about claiming your authority, claiming your power, being authentic, speaking and living your truth, just like we were talking about, and knowing that love is all around. Love is absolutely in everything. And so you are love, right? You're stepping into more of your divine essence, which came from love, which will return to love, which is love. Everything is a different vibration and resonance of love. And we move into a purer and purer experience of that resonance and that vibration every day. I love you guys all so much. I hope that you enjoyed this video. There's a link to donate below if you feel so moved to do so. It is very much appreciated, and it helps support all of the free content that I love making for you guys. As I said, my services are listed below. If you would like to book a reading or an energy healing session with me, I offer personalized Ascension transit charts as well. A bunch of different things. Check all of those out. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Make sure you click the bell with the little squigglies so you're notified when I put out more videos. And I will talk to you all very soon. Comment and let me know how August is going. How you guys are feeling about this reading, about all of these big changes getting ready to happen for you. It's very exciting stuff, and I'm very excited for you.